What is up, guys? It is me, the big man bassing. It is a beautiful, beautiful day here in Southwest Florida, and it's the day after Valentine's Day, and you all know what that means. It means I've been fishing. Your boy's single. Your boy doesn't, we don't do the whole Valentine's Day thing. But today, I thought, let me show a little love to some stuff I don't really talk about. We're actually gonna go and climb into the bed of my truck because I was just doing a fishing video yesterday, and guess what? It was horrible. So we didn't film much, wasn't much caught, but I have all my gear with me here at work. So let's kind of do a little bit of a tackle breakdown on what I use on my daily carrying for fishing. Let's get to it. Alright guys, so we have a little bit of noise, a lot of traffic driving by right now, so forgive me on that. But we're going to talk about the two sets of rods I have here and what I use them for. First off, we're going to start off with something we're probably going to see more of this year, which is our saltwater gear. And we're going to take a look at that real quick. There's two rods I don't have with me at the moment, so bear with me. They're just at home. They weren't being used for this fishing mission, but they are rods you guys may be familiar with. I'll throw up some photos. I'm going to take photos when I get home with them. One of them is broken at the moment. The other one is just not being used. So I'll throw those up real quick. And let's go over what I have right here. So starting first off with our saltwater lineup, we have my 5,000 Saltist MQ, spooled with 30-pound blue super slick. Right now I've got a nice large 4/0 circle and a 1/2 ounce egg weight on it on a 7/6 Fenwick. Let's see if it'll focus. Fenwick HMG. It's a beautiful little 7/6. This is rated 20 to 50 pound braid, which I honestly don't think, come on, focus. There we go. I honestly don't think you will need to run 20 to 50 pound on here, but the 30 pounds what I use it for is a perfect big snook inshore rod. It does everything it needs done. It can handle some bigger fish, some smaller tarpon, but it is my overall, you're getting out of the structure rod, something I throw on with either cut bait or even, big lures, big flare hawks. I'll pitch it out on there. Kind of forgot to zoom out on that last one. Moving on to my 4,000. This is my 4,000 Saltist MQ. Overall, another great, outstanding reel. A little bit smaller spool size if you're unfamiliar with the 4,000s to 5,000s. It just comes on spool size for these. So these have about the same drag. And I'll put all the, actually right over here is where I'll stick all the information on them for the video. But we've got this spooled up some 20-pound super slick. Throwing a, don't question the jig on there. The old snook we're chasing that the other day. But we only got one or two. Spooled up a 20-pound line on a brand new, because I just had these warranted, Fenwick Elite. This one here is rated 15 to 30 pound braid, and honestly it has a very sensitive tip but a great backbone. I do love, if you're looking for a great option for a series of rods, maybe not a custom rod or just like a series, just a series of rod. That's great audio. Just a series of rods. The Fenwick Elites and the Fenwick HMGs are my all-time favorite rods to fish with. Moving on to my smallest Saltist MQ, and the smallest one they make, I have my 2,500 on a nice flippy. I was fishing for sheepshead with this one the other day. With a nice flippy. It's seen some stuff. This one's seen plenty of stuff. This one, it's only an 8 to 15. So it's definitely a little lighter one. You've seen me fish this with peacocks. You've seen me fish this plenty of freshwater, plenty of carp videos in the past if you're over on Instagram, or I think I have one or two videos where I was using this in a few videos for carp and other stuff. But this overall is my favorite inshore rod to throw. It's got plenty of drag, plenty of backbone to this rod, even though it's as whippy as it is. And it's just a fun rod to fish because everything feels huge on it. Like I said, it's got 15-pound super slick on it. So I like my super slick, even though it's a Shimano product. I do love it so much. But these are my Daiwa pride and joys, one of my favorite reels on the market. So we're going to move over to our freshwater stuff now. Now, moving on to the tried and true. You guys have seen this thing a bunch. It's my favorite peacock reel, spooled up to some 10-pound super slick. We recently got a little bit of a wind knot in there, so I got to respool this. It's about done, but it's on my Shimano Terramar rod. This one I think is rated, what do we got here? 8 to 16 7-footer. Great little rod. The reel itself I love because it only has about 6 pounds of drag, so it's ultra light, fun to catch your small stuff on. Great freshwater setup, and that's why I'm starting my freshwater lineup. So fishing with this, everything feels giant on it, just like my 2500 I was just telling you guys about. But overall, one of my favorite rods to fish with, especially in freshwater. So now moving on to my favorite little Shimano reel that I own is my little Shimano Saharas. The Saharas, especially these models here, I love these so much. This model of reel was my first expensive reel that I ever owned. So, I mean, they were just phenomenal. I was just talking to my neighbor. The shop neighbor. She's leaving to go do stuff. She was asking, what are you doing out here? I was like, I'm just filming, talking about my rods and stuff. So this one is also on another 8 to 14. Yes, 8 to 14. So I have an 8 to 14, an 8 to 16, and an 8 to 15. Just my favorite little mini rods. But this is my little 1000. Let me get back on track here. The 1Ks, honestly, I've got all my buddies fishing 1Ks. My buddy Colby that fishes with me, a buddy Ian that fishes with me. Everyone has been going down to the micro setups. And honestly, I love fishing micro setups. As you guys saw in the carp video just before this one, I was using this exact rod and reel combo to get bullied by those big old canal whales. But even fishing in saltwater, I had my boss out here not too long ago, and I got him on probably a just under slot snook on the 1K, and he enjoyed the fight. I love seeing people catch stuff on the 1K. So I mean, this is overall just a rod that stays with me at all times. This rod is so fun. If you guys don't own a 1K or even smaller, 500, stuff like that, working on getting another small reel here soon. It's in the budget. So fish a 1K. It's a blast. Fresh or saltwater, you'll be very surprised how much fun you can have on these lighter reels, because if you like fishing and you find that yourself that you're not finding enough challenge and stuff, start downsizing and you will find out how much fun you can really have on some of this light tackle. Now, moving on to the bait casters. I have one of my bait casters with me. The other one is at the house, and the rod this one on is a backup rod. So this rod I don't even include in the mix, but this is just a old loose speed stick with the cork that kind of got beat up. We put some shrink wrap on it thanks to the Native Rods. I want to give them a shout out for this. I've got a few of their rods myself. That one is one of the other ones at home, my blue Native rod that was custom built for me. But we're talking about the old, let's get that angle right there. You see the minty Corrado DC. I love my DC. I have gone and targeted so many big fish. You guys who follow me on Instagram know I catch a bunch of fish on this reel because honestly, I love it. Now, yes, it makes a very fun noise when you cast it out, but overall it is great. Peep the little snakehead custom frog. We're going to be doing some fun fishing here soon, especially on this. But the rod that it's normally on is my 15 to 30 M1 inshore Phoenix rod. Now, Phoenix has been winning a place in my heart recently. Phoenix rods are really, really good. I love the M1 series. I got a lot of captains like Dax, buddy like Peyton, who love the M1s. And we probably will be doing some more fishing on that rod here soon once I get it fixed. The reel seats kind of come loose. It's kind of one of those fluke issues, but we're going to get that fixed up thanks to a local rod guy and get that squared away. But I have had my eye on a 20 to 40 that's been sitting up at a local shop, and I might just have to go grab one and get a DC just a little bit bigger so we can start targeting some bait caster snook here in the future. But with that said, I run 40-pound braid on this just for castability reasons. Now, a lot of people ask me, why do I run such high braid on these bait casters? Well, it's pretty simple. Your braid has to match up with the same thickness of monofilament, or it starts digging in and making bird's nest worse. Now, some people are like, well, why don't you just use monofilament? Well, quite simply put, I don't like mono on my reels. Hence why I fish braid on everything. So I've got some nice braid on here. Nothing super slick, your standard. I got some 40-pound J braid, dark green, nothing special. Go ahead, flip it out. I run a short mono leader just for that little bit of shock protection, because as we all know, braid does not stretch. Monofilament does. Monofilament also floats, and I'm 9 times out of 10 throwing a top water on this one. And the other one that I have, my Corrado, it's my standard green Corrado. is the one I'm throwing my jigs on, and I'll put fluorocarbon on that because fluorocarbon sinks, monofilament floats. Gives you that little bit better diversity on that. So that's that one there. Like I said, 40-pound braid on that. Super simple. One of my favorite little bait casting reels, and that is the setup. Now, I've also been working on a side project that I haven't really told you guys much about, and the Instagram's seen it. I've talked about it a little bit over on Facebook and Instagram, and I'm going to show you guys a little sneak peek of what I've got going on. So we're going to walk on over here to the back side of my truck. Now, most of my buddies that know me, or you guys have seen the inside of my truck, no, it's just one big old tackle box. Now you're going to wonder, Richard, what's the mystery tackle box elites? Well, everything you see here has been donated gear to me, except that that's my box there. I just was fishing with that. But all this box, these bags, this here, there's a few more down here, all these boxes of stuff and bags of stuff were all donated by other anglers and other people in the fishing industry. Now, the reason, come on man, I'm doing audio here. The reason I have so many donations here is because I am trying to work with the local stuff here, trying to get some people on board for an idea. I want to get kids fishing. There's so many kids staying at home. Summer's right around the corner. My goal here is when I see kids out fishing, I want to donate gear to them. I want to give them gear. The same way people gave me gear when I was a kid. Well, stuff's expensive. And thanks to the way the world's moved, not every kid can afford those new lures or that really cool swim bait. We're going to come out of the wind and away from these vehicles. But that's the kind of goal I'm trying to do here, is I'm trying to get enough stuff donated. Old rods, old reels, old terminal, old tackle boxes, lures with rust on them. That doesn't bother me. I can replace the hooks for these kids. But my goal here is to make sure that kids can get out there and fish, and go out there and do things and just be outside. That's probably the most important thing to me, is getting people out there fishing like I was when I was a kid. Because right now it's hard. Parents, I know it's not easy to go out and buy your kid that $10 lure at Walmart or that $12 lure at the bait store. Trust me, I get it and I understand. That's why I'm doing this. So it's a little bit of a passion project to me. Gets me a little worked up, I will say that, but in a good way. Because I want to make sure kids get out there and hook into their next memory, just like I did when I was a young kid. So if you guys would like to help or make donations, DM me. If you guys know somebody that has a kid that wants to go out and fish and may not be having the greatest of luck or may not have the best lures, DM me on Instagram. That is linked at the top of my profile. Go ahead, DM me on Instagram, DM me on Facebook, DM me on here. If you guys need to reach out, I have an email linked here that you can DM me on. It is thebigmanbassing@gmail.com. So if you guys have anything you need to reach out for, anything you need, anything you want to recommend, or someone you know who may be out there having a hard time getting started in the fishing world, reach out, shoot me a DM, do all that. I work in the industry. I'm not giving bad advice. My job is to make sure people catch fish, or else we're not doing our work here. So if you guys know somebody, like I said, know somebody with kids that are just trying to get started, I don't care if you're 17 years old and you're like, hey man, I need some tips and tricks. That truck has been a giveaway box for years. If you run into me, 9 times out of 10, I have something for you. So if you guys need something, want something, or have some recommendations or know somebody, let me know. Thank you guys for tuning in, and get out there and hook into your next memory. I'll see you guys next time.